Maybe I should work out more. Hello everyone, and welcome to my new FAQ video, which is basically recorded at the same time as the last FAQ video, but with a different shirt, and I let my hair out. So, reason why I did this is because I went to Indonesia for another QC of a solar guitars batch, and I wouldn't have the time to record another FAQ video. So that's why I'm doing this. It's just so you get your dose of Ola Englund on Sundays. And also, before I start, I just want to say, what the fuck? 50 million views on my channel right now. Unbelievable. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I've also seen a huge increase on the subscriber part of my YouTube channel. So thank you so much, guys. I love you, okay? All right, question one. Ola, show us some scales that you like the most. If you don't want to do this, please tell me so I can stop to making that question in every duck video. Okay. I don't really play in terms of scales or modes. I've talked about this before. Let's see. Is there any audio in the house? There is audio. Okay. By the way, I love this guitar. This is the new E1.6 ETC, and it's a f***ing riff machine. God damn it. Oh, the question. All right. Show us some scales that you like the most. I mean, I'm a big fan of just the regular pentascale, to be honest. That's all I use, basically. If I think of anything, it's like, okay, this song is in D minor. Okay, then I know. And basically, you know, you can play the pentascale on different places on the neck, but so I just go for the standard one, and then the one next to it, which is. And then I work in between those two, and that's all I need, basically. So. Yeah. Oh, now I'm just rambling. Okay. Ola, I have a two-part question. How did you learn English? It's better than many of the native speakers I live near. Ooh. Did you learn English because it's the language of the internet? Because you like learning languages or some other reason? I've talked about this before. In Sweden, they teach English from like, I think my son is already reading it, and he's like in first grade. So they're starting very early to speak English. And you know, when I was a kid, I played a lot of games, you know, Monkey Island and, you know, games like that. And I had to learn English that way, because otherwise I wouldn't understand what they were saying in the game. So, you know, I played a lot of video games back in the day, and I had to learn English because no one was helping me out with that. So, yeah, it's a mix between, you know, schools being really awesome in Sweden and, you know, me just playing video games a lot. When did you quit your normal day job? I guess it was a big decision, considering you being a father and a husband. Was there a certain opportunity that opened up to this, or was it a win or lose thing? Shinosh. I've talked about this before as well, but the point where I made a decision that I would quit my day job was when I went to NAMM for the first time in 2012. And I was totally not expecting the response of the people that was there when I went there, because it was the first time I was out in public, you know, and meaning the audience, you know, that my YouTube audience is like, you see all these, you know, millions amount of views, and it's like, okay, you don't really see them as people. But when I went to NAMM, it's like everyone wanted to take a picture with me, and they thanked me for my videos and stuff like that. So that was the point when I'm like, holy shit, okay, this is for real, and this is the time for me to put my wholehearted focus on this YouTube thing. And that's what I did. I quit my job 1 week after when I got home from NAMM, and shortly after that I joined Fit 6 Funder. Shortly after that, I joined 6 Feet Under, and that's where everything kind of blew up in a way. Hey, Ola, what were the things that held you back the most in achieving your goals, and how did you get rid of them? Okay, boring question. Ola, can we make some music collaborations sometimes? Of course. No. No. No, 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 it's not gonna happen. I'm just being real here. Hey Ola, I watched till the end. My question is, what effect did you use for the intro to Forever Old? I like the effect in general, and the fact that you can hear the plucking of the strings too. Thanks. Fear drills. Oh, horns up. That intro is kind of weird. I think what you're hearing is a mixture of 2 different guitars. The plucking you hear is the acoustic guitar, and then you have an electric guitar, a clean, plain electric guitar, going through. I'm not sure exactly what the plugin is, but it was a plugin from a brand called Camel Audio, and I do not have it anymore. I had it back in the day, and then I screwed up the license somehow, so I don't have it anymore, but it was a really cool effect. Camel Audio. I don't remember the plugin. Too bad. Hagola. Grains from good old England. My question is, my young brother has a terminal cancer. His name is Steven. He loves your videos and only has one bucket list item. He wants to learn a few chords to any feared song so he can learn to play on his Solar I bought him. Can you recommend an easy riff or riffs he can learn just so he can have a go before he loses the use of his hands and his mind? He's been given 6 to 8 months to live, and I would love to see him fulfill his wish. That's my question. Sorry if it's not a proper question. Shit. Like, if you're for real, I'll gladly have a short little Skype lesson with your brother if that's fine. But if that Skype lesson won't happen, I'll show you a very easy lick from the song, the main riff from the song Lord's Resistance Army. And it's in drop, okay? So it's... It's very easy. Yeah. Hope this message gets to you. I want to take that Skype lesson. Okay, I just wanted to make this short little update video here from Indonesia. But I reached out to Scott, and he told me more about his brother Steven. And since I recorded the FAQ video, I've already sent a bunch of merch to Steven, and the tab books and CDs and t-shirts and stuff like that. And I received an answer, and he was really happy. So Steven, if you're watching this, good luck on those riffs, man. I'm watching you, okay? Take care. Ola, how do you deal with pre-staged nervousness? In my case, my hands get cold and sweaty. Okay. I've never really had a problem with stage fright because I've always been prepared when I go on stage. The only times I get nervous is when I know I haven't practiced, okay? Or practiced the set. That's the time. Those are the times when I get like real stage fright. But if I just come prepared, I don't have that problem. So that's a tip for you. Just over practice, okay? Hi Ola, do you have any good advice how to learn the different notes on the fretboard? I have to try, but it ended in disaster. It is too confusing for my brain. I personally do not know the notes on the fretboard by heart. If I just pick a note like this, I'm not sure what tone that is, to be honest. I have to count it out, but I do have ways to find out, you know, if it's a C or a D. So you have the octaves. And in that sense, I can always find that D if I want to. Find the D. Funny. That's the way I navigate through the fretboard, is that I know that, okay, this D here. So, you know, I can find my way around the fretboard, and I do not memorize the fretboard. That doesn't make any sense for me. But then again, I'm not a professional guitar player. Ola, I've noticed you have the best vintage gains playing on your monsters. What? Your monsters? Your monitors. Oh, okay. On your monitor. He's talking about my screen, not monsters. Do you choose a certain game for each video, or is it random? I pick the video game videos that I have for my FAQs. I pick games that I played when I was a kid, or, you know, up until this point. So it's basically just, you know, showing a bit of my favorite games that I played in the past, and yeah, I think it's a tribute to you know, all the awesome games that are out there. Like this one, Golden Axe, awesome game. What's the biggest challenge you faced starting your own guitar company, and are things going like you expected or better? Biggest challenge is you know, everything before actually launching the brand. I mean, not knowing anything, and I mean, I learned a lot, I must say, and throughout this whole process. And what you're not seeing, you're obviously seeing everything after launch, but before the launch, I was stressed out. I was scared shitless. I had no idea what was going to happen, how it would go. I was a nervous wreck, basically, like in 2017 before the launch. It was really scary. And now after the launch, I'm just very relieved, and I didn't expect it to go as well as it did. But even if it's going really well, I still want to be cautious and careful so I don't do any early mistakes with the brand, because at this state and at this point for the brand, what the f***, okay. That pic disappeared into oblivion. Yeah, one little mistake right now can totally, you know, f*** up the brand, so I don't want to do that. So I'm being very cautious about how I go about the next batches and all that, and just, you know, I'm a cautious Swede, that's what I do. Hi Ola, in your personal opinion, which Legend of Zelda is the best? I have two favorites. I played a lot of them, but I think A Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time are my favorites. With that said, Breath of the Wild, super awesome as well. What was the one for Wii? I don't remember the name. That was a good one too. But yeah, my favorites are definitely Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time. Hey Count Dracula. Oh, that's funny. Funny guy. Sinise Vuko. Funny. Don't remember if this was already asked, but do you ever listen to other music besides Smell? This was asked and I answered it in another video. If I do listen to something else, it's usually like singer-songwriter stuff. I think I've already mentioned Tim Christensen, a Danish guy that I really enjoy. Me and my wife loves his music. Other than that, no. I don't really listen that much to music anymore, to be honest. I mean, I kind of enjoy not listening to music because I'm working with it all the time. Hey Ola, why would anyone buy a Solar guitar instead of any other brand? Charbonneau guitars. Ooh. Maybe it's a competing brand. I'm going to stay away from this question. Where do you stand on a bucket list perspective? I see a lot of people who are very happy with their lives and have no big aspirations for the future other than continuing to be happy, and I'm left here pretty happy but always feeling uneasy because I have dreams and goals I'm still far from accomplishing. Do you have that anxiety about fulfilling some goal or achieving something as an artist, an entertainer, or anything else? Does having a family attenuate all of that? Well, to some extent, you know, getting kids is attenuating that. Because it's like, for me at least, when you get kids, it opens up us such a different spectrum, and you get such a different view of life in general, and you know, there's so much love suddenly, where before you were just really focused on your thing, and you know, maybe you had a girlfriend that you loved, but when you get kids, that's like when you discover love for real. At least that's how it went for me. And it's like, that's the most important thing in the world, and then everything else doesn't matter, really. But I still think it's very important to, if you have dreams, to try and fulfill them. You know, you can set up a really unreachable goal, but that doesn't matter. As long as you have that goal, every step on the way, you know, it's gonna be fun, usually. Even though you just have one life, it's pretty long of a life. I mean, you can, you know, there's a lot of people that started their careers when they're 50 or plus, you know. So there's still a lot of time left. But in that sense, you're not supposed to be slacking. You have to hustle, because that's how, you know, you get shit done. Did I answer the question? Why does everybody swear by analog compressors even when they speak of building a studio on a budget? I think VSTs are just fine. What are the benefits of going analog? I'm not going to argue with you. I agree. I mean, I do not have any outboard equipment that I don't need. I mean, this is a reload box to just make the signals perfect. I mean, I need it, and then I have an audio interface, and that's it. I do not have any other outboard gear or compressors like that, and I mix everything in-house in Logic, and yeah, it's just the most convenient way, and I think it sounds good. Huh? Right? Good enough, at least. If you are getting into the analog world, yeah, good for you. You're going to spend a lot of money. Big Boyle, what do you think about prog bands like Leprous, Hawken, or Agent Fresco? I haven't listened that much to Hawken or Agent Fresco, but Leprous I've listened a lot to the past year, and it's yeah, it's a trip for sure. I'm very happy about finding Leprous. They're amazing. Basically, I cannot recommend them enough. It's listening to their music is like it's going on a journey somehow. It's if you haven't checked out Leprous, do yourself a favor, check out the latest 2 albums, man. They're amazing. Hello, Ola. Hope all is good. Most people make music for all the wrong reasons. My question to you is, why do you make music? What made you love it? I think, you know, the music that I make, when I write it, I love writing music. But if you come to a rut or, you know, a time where you feel like nothing is happening, I think it's very important to, you know, put that aside then. Put the songwriting aside. Do something else for a while. It's perfectly fine. I mean, you cannot love it all the time, and if you're writing while you're not loving it, it's going to show, in my opinion. So I mean, I still love making music, but I'm not going to force it out. So whenever I have like a moment where I sit and, you know, the riffs are just flowing, that's the best part about writing music. And I write music for myself. It's, you know, it's cliche to say it like that, but the music that I write is for myself in a way. I mean, I enjoy it. And I think it's the most honest way of writing music, rather than trying to write a hit song or something like that. So, oh, that was the last question. Oh. Did I mention I love this guitar? Okay, that was the last question actually. If you have any more questions, ask them in the comment section of this video. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. I love you. See you next time, okay?